The teacup key. Dust motes danced in the weak sunlight slanting through the attic window, illuminating Eliza's slumped shoulders. Lily, kneeling beside a teetering stack of china, tried to inject some cheer into the suffocating atmosphere. "Look, Mom! Grandma Rosie's collection. Remember how she always said each cup had a story?" Eliza sighed, pushing a stray strand of hair behind her ear. "They're just things, Lilybug. Pretty things, but still." Lily carefully lifted a delicate teacup, its rose pattern faded with age. It was Grandma Rose's favorite, the one she always used for afternoon tea with lemon and a sliver of shortbread. As she turned it over, something rattled inside. Frowning, Lily peered into the cup. A small, tarnished key lay nestled at the bottom, almost hidden by the floral design. "Mom, look!" Lily held out the teacup, her voice bubbling with excitement. "There's a key inside." Eliza's brow furrowed. She took the cup, her fingers tracing the delicate porcelain. "A key? That's odd. Your grandmother never mentioned anything about a key." She shook the teacup gently, listening to the faint clinking sound. "I wonder what it unlocks." Lily grabbed a dish towel and carefully wiped the key clean. It was old, the metal darkened with age, and intricately carved with what looked like a tiny rosebud. "Maybe it's to a secret room. Or a treasure chest." Eliza chuckled, a watery sound that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Don't let your imagination run away with you, Lily. It's probably just a key to an old diary or something sentimental." She paused, a faraway look in her eyes. "Your grandmother loved that teacup. She said it reminded her of her own mother. Apparently, her mother always served tea in a rose-patterned cup just like that one." Lily felt a surge of determination. This wasn't just a random key, it was a piece of Grandma Rose, a whisper from the past. "We have to find out what it unlocks, Mom. It's like a little mystery she left behind for us to solve." Eliza hesitated, her gaze drifting around the cluttered attic. "I don't know, Lily. I'm not sure I have the energy. Please, Mom? Just one try? It might be fun. And it might help us feel closer to Grandma Rose." Lily's voice softened, pleading. Eliza looked at the key, then at Lily's hopeful face. A faint smile touched her lips. "All right, Lilybug. One try. But if it's just an old diary, we're shelving the mystery for another day." She handed the teacup back to Lily. "Where do we even begin?" The forbidden closet. Grandma Rose's room smelled of lavender and dust, a peculiar but comforting combination. Sunlight streamed through the lace curtains, illuminating swirling motes of dust dancing in the air. Lily trailed her fingers along the ornate headboard of the massive four-poster bed, imagining her grandmother telling stories from it. It felt wrong, somehow, to be poking around in here, but Mom had been so vague about everything, so unwilling to share any details about Grandma Rose. A chipped porcelain doll sat on a shelf, its painted eyes staring blankly ahead. Lily picked it up, turning it over in her hands. It was beautiful, but unsettling, like something out of a very old movie. She carefully placed it back, a shiver tracing its way down her spine. Her gaze drifted towards the far corner of the room, where shadows clung stubbornly, refusing to be chased away by the sunlight. A door stood almost flush with the wall, its wood darker and duller than the rest of the trim. It was so unobtrusive, Lily almost missed it. "Don't ever go in there, Lilybug," her mother's voice echoed in her head. Mum hadn't said it sternly, but with a strange kind of sadness that had always kept Lily away. The forbidden closet. Even as a little girl, Lily had known it was something important, something connected to the sadness that seemed to perpetually hang around her mother. The memory tightened her stomach into a knot. Maybe she shouldn't. Maybe some secrets were best left buried. But the need to understand, to piece together the fragments of her grandmother's life, gnawed at her. This room, this house, held the answers she craved. She took a hesitant step towards the closet. The air grew colder as she approached, the lavender scent fading into a musty, almost metallic odor. Her hand hovered over the tarnished brass knob. It was heavier than she expected, cool against her skin. Lily hesitated. This was it. The moment of truth. To open or not to open. The question felt Shakespearean, grand, and yet utterly ridiculous. It was just a closet, after all. But something told her it was so much more. She took a deep breath, her fingers tightening around the knob. Whatever was behind that door, she was ready to face it. Or at least, she hoped she was. With a final surge of determination, she turned the knob. The metal box. The closet smelled of lavender and dust. Not the sharp, metallic dust of the attic, but a softer, gentler kind, like powdered memories. Lily tugged the door wider, its hinges groaning a mournful tune. Inside, shadows clung to the corners like timid creatures. She'd started with the obvious places, the drawers, the bookshelves, even under the slightly lumpy mattress. Now, only the closet remained. It was crammed full of things, coats that smelled faintly of mothballs, forgotten umbrellas, and a precarious stack of quilts teetering towards her. Lily reached for the quilts, their faded colors whispering of bygone winters. She lifted them one by one, the weight of each a tangible connection to her grandmother. The top one was a crazy quilt, a riot of mismatched fabric sewn together with haphazard stitches. Beneath it, a log cabin quilt, its dark and light strips creating a mesmerizing pattern. And then, a simple patchwork quilt, its squares a comforting blend of blues and greens. As she lifted the last quilt, a glint of metal caught her eye. Tucked behind the stack, almost hidden against the back wall, was a metal box. It was small, no bigger than a showbox, and painted a dull, unassuming grey. A small, tarnished padlock secured its lid. Lily's heart quickened. This felt different. This felt important. She ran her fingers over the cool, smooth surface of the box, a shiver tracing its way down her spine. She remembered the small, ornate key she'd found tucked inside the porcelain doll. Could it be? With trembling hands, she retrieved the key from her pocket. It felt heavier now, imbued with a sudden significance. She inserted it into the padlock. It slid in smoothly, a perfect fit. Lily held her breath and turned. Click! The sound echoed in the small closet, loud and definitive. The padlock sprang open. Lily lifted the lid of the metal box, her anticipation building with each creak of the hinges. What secrets lay hidden within? What forgotten stories would this box reveal? She peered inside, her eyes widening as she took in the contents. Rosie's secret. Lily held her breath. The tiny, tarnished key, unearthed from the depths of Grandma Rosie's sewing kit, trembled in her hand. It was now or never. She slid it into the lock of the small, ornate box tucked away on the highest shelf of the closet. A faint click echoed in the silent room. Oh my God, as she whispered, twisting the key. The lock sprang open with a soft sigh of disuse. Lily lifted the lid, anticipation thrumming in her veins. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, were stacks of cash. Neatly bundled with twine, each stack appeared to be comprised of crisp $100 bills. Her eyes widened. This wasn't just a little rainy day fund. This was substantial. A wave of dizziness washed over her. Grandma rose. A secret stash of money? It didn't compute. Her grandmother, who meticulously clipped coupons and saved every spare penny? It was a bizarre, beautiful mystery. Beneath the money, a folded piece of paper rested. Lily carefully lifted the stacks of cash, placing them gently on the nearby bed, and unfolded the note. The handwriting was unmistakably Rose's, shaky but elegant. My dearest Lily, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone. I hope you're not too sad, my little firefly. I always admired your spirit, your unwavering belief in the good in people. This money, it's a long story. A story for another time, perhaps. Just know that it was earned honestly, through a little bit of luck and a whole lot of hard work. I always intended to do something special with it, something that would make a real difference. But time ran out. Lily, my love, I trust you. You have a good heart. Use this money wisely. Help someone who needs it. Follow your dreams. And never, ever lose that spark I see in you. With all my love, Grandma Rose. Tears welled in Lily's eyes, blurring the ink on the page. A lump formed in her throat, making it hard to breathe. She clutched the note to her chest. Grandma Rose had left her a legacy, not just of money, but of faith and hope. A responsibility. The afternoon sun streamed through the window, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. Lily glanced at the stacks of money, then back at the note. The weight of it all settled on her shoulders, heavy yet strangely comforting. She knew, with absolute certainty, that her life had just changed forever. Now, she just needed to figure out what to do next. A dream deferred. The ink had faded to a sepia wash, the paper brittle as autumn leaves, yet the words leaped out. A Rose's rescue, sanctuary for the shunned. Beneath, a simple drawing depicted a barn embraced by joyous creatures, dogs sporting energetic tails, cats luxuriating in arched stretches, even a diminutive piglet foraging contentedly. Lily slumped against the closet's musty wall, the note trembling slightly. Her grandma, Rose, always the picture of domestic bliss with her garden and pies, had cherished a clandestine aspiration to create a safe haven for neglected animals. The revelation struck a deep, resonant chord within Lily's own compassionate heart. Closing her eyes, she conjured an image, a younger Rose, her face radiant with purpose, gently coaxing a frightened stray from beneath a porch, tending to an injured bird with delicate care, her rough hands soothing a matted, abandoned dog. The vision possessed a startling clarity, a poignant ache. Why had this remained hidden? Why hadn't Rose shared this part of herself? A wave of tender sorrow engulfed her, a bittersweet blend of regret and profound respect. An unfulfilled dream. What had prevented its realization? Limited funds? Scarce time? A lack of support? Lily's gaze fell upon the showbox brimming with bills. The answer, at least partially, presented itself plainly. She gathered the note, carefully creasing it before securing it in her pocket. The money felt weighty in her grasp, a tangible symbol of Rose's stifled ambition. This wasn't just currency, it was latent possibility. A chance to revive a dream left to wither. Rising to her feet, Lily felt a new resolve solidify within her. This secret couldn't remain buried. It demanded to be shared, beginning with her mother. Taking a steadying breath, she descended the squeaking stairs, the showbox clutched securely. Her mom was in the kitchen, softly humming a tune as she finished the dishes. Pausing in the doorway, Lily suddenly felt a surge of apprehension. This transcended a mere discovery of hidden funds. It concerned honoring her grandmother's enduring legacy. "Mom?" Lily began, her voice betraying a slight tremor. "I came across something in Grandma Rose's closet. A mother's grief." Lily presented the time-worn box to her mother, the floral design on its surface obscured by a patina of age. Eliza accepted it, a tremor in her fingers. She traced the outline of a rose with her thumb, as if attempting to summon Rose's spirit from the cardboard container. "What have you found, dear?" Lily settled onto the bed's edge, her leg bouncing with barely contained energy. "Grandma's closet. Tucked away behind the old overcoats." Eliza raised the lid. Inside, cradled in brittle, yellowed tissue, were stacks of currency, neatly bound. A gasp caught in her throat. "Lily, where?" Lily gestured to a small, folded note nestled amongst the bills. With meticulous care, Eliza unfurled it. The familiar, flowing handwriting blurred before her vision. "For the creatures." Rose. A sob, thick with emotion, broke free. She adored animals, as she murmured, more to herself. Eliza's mind flashed back to her own childhood, replete with the legions of stray felines Rose had sheltered, nursing them to health within the confines of their laundry room. Patches, the three-legged terrier, stood out, alongside a never-ending parade of goldfish, each invariably dubbed Finny. Rose possessed an inexhaustible capacity for empathy. Eliza slumped onto the mattress, the box feeling weighty in her embrace. This is a considerable sum, Lily." "I know," Lily replied softly. "What should we do with it, do you think?" Eliza gazed absently at the wall, her thoughts spiraling. The leaky roof demanded attention. A disconcerting rattle emanated from the car's engine. Unpaid invoices threatened to topple from the kitchen counter. Practicalities clamored for resolution. Then her gaze returned to the note. "For the creatures." An unambiguous instruction, a final bequest. Rosie's wish. She always dreamed of establishing a haven, Eliza revealed, a tender smile gracing her lips. A refuge for cast-off dogs and cats. She even had a name all picked out. Rose's Rescue, she intended to call it. "So, we could actually use this money for that?" Lily questioned, her eyes gleaming with optimism. Eliza wavered. The pragmatic core of her, the part that had always prioritized fiscal responsibility and a well-stocked pantry, recoiled at the proposition. It felt imprudent, almost profligate. Yet, the image of Rose, her gentle caress and unwavering kindness, surfaced in her mind. She recalled the endless succession of stray kittens named Whiskers and Mittens. She saw Lily, her face alight with the same hopeful zeal. Eliza exhaled, a sigh burdened by exhaustion and uncertainty. "I honestly don't know, Lily. It's a monumental decision." Despite her reservations, as she glanced at the treasure in her lap, Eliza couldn't dispel the impression that Rose, somewhere beyond, was smiling upon them. Rosie's Rescue. The late afternoon sun slanted through the kitchen window, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Lily traced patterns on the condensation of her iced tea, the clinking of the ice a lonely sound in the quiet house. She remembered Grandma Rose, always with a stray kid draped across her lap, a bowl of kibble perpetually on the porch. Rose had named them all: Patches, Whiskers, Lucky, even a grumpy old tomcat she'd christened Napoleon. Each one a testament to her unwavering compassion. "Mom," a Lily said, breaking the silence, "a Grandma Rose always wanted to build a proper shelter." Eliza sighed, stirring her tea absently. "I know, sweetie." But it's just not practical right now. We have so much to deal with. But that's why we should do it. Lily insisted, her voice rising with urgency. It's what she would have wanted. Imagine all the animals we could help. No more strays wandering the streets, cold and hungry. We could give them a warm bed, good food, and find them loving homes. Eliza looked at her daughter, her expression softening. She saw Rose in Lily's passionate eyes, that same unyielding belief in the good of the world. Lily, honey, it takes money, permits, volunteers. It's a huge undertaking. We have the money, Lily said, her voice softer but firm. Grandma Rose left it for us. And I know people will help. Mrs. Davison from next door loves animals. Mr. Geysier is a carpenter. He could help build the kennels. I can design a website, and we could organize adoption days. Eliza was silent for a long moment, staring out the window at the rose bushes Rose had so lovingly tended. The air still carried a faint, sweet fragrance. A memory surfaced, Rose, covered in dirt, coaxing a timid stray dog out from under the porch with a piece of sausage. She always said animals gave back more love than you ever gave them, Eliza whispered, more to herself than to Lily. She turned back, a spark of something new, hope, maybe, flickering in her eyes. Okay, as she said, a small smile gracing her lips. Okay, Lily. Let's do it. Let's build Rose's rescue. Lily leaped up, throwing her arms around her mother. Really? Oh, Mom, thank you. Eliza hugged her back, a sense of purpose she hadn't felt in months washing over her. Let's start by making a list. What permits do we need? How many animals can we realistically house? And we need a good name. Rose's rescue is a start, but... She trailed off, already lost in thought. The clinking of Lily's ice was no longer a lonely sound, but a hopeful rhythm, a promise of new beginnings. Building a community. The old bakery on Willow Creek Lane was too small. The vacant lot near the highway was too noisy. Lily felt like Goldilocks, except instead of porridge and chairs, she was searching for the perfect space to build a haven for lost and abandoned animals. Eliza, bless her heart, was trying to be optimistic, but Lily could see the exhaustion etched on her face. What about the old Peterson place? Eliza suggested, pointing to a dilapidated farmhouse on the outskirts of town. Lily frowned. Too far out. People wouldn't come. Days bled into weeks, each location scout ending with the same disappointing conclusion. Then came the mountains of paperwork. Town permits, zoning regulations, building codes. Lily felt like she was drowning in bureaucratic jargon. The initial burst of energy from finding Grandma Rose's hidden cache was waning, replaced by a gnawing anxiety. One afternoon, while wrestling with a particularly confusing form, a shadow fell across her desk. Mr. Henderson, their neighbor and a retired carpenter, stood in the doorway, his weathered face creased with concern. Heard you girls were having some trouble getting the shelter off the ground, he said, his voice raspy but kind. I might be old, but I still know my way around a hammer and saw. I'd be honored to help you build it. Lily's heart leaped. Mr. Henderson, that would be amazing. But even with Mr. Henderson's expertise, they were still short on funds. Eliza, stepping outside her comfort zone, suggested a bake sale. Lily, ever the enthusiast, added a dog wash to the mix. The day of the fundraiser dawned bright and sunny. The aroma of freshly baked cookies mingled with the scent of dog shampoo. Children shrieked with laughter as soapy water flew through the air. Even Eliza, usually reserved, was smiling as she carefully frosted cupcakes. the community rallied. Mrs. Gable donated a mountain of homemade pies. The local hardware store provided discounted supplies. By the end of the day, they had raised enough money to cover the remaining building materials. More importantly, Lily felt a renewed sense of hope. This wasn't just her dream anymore, it was a community dream, built on kindness, compassion, and the shared love for animals. A legacy of kindness. The banner rippled in the gentle breeze, proclaiming Rose's rescue, a second chance for every poor. Eliza stood beside it, a hesitant smile gracing her lips as she snipped the ceremonial ribbon with oversized scissors. A small crowd had gathered, neighbors, townspeople, and even a reporter from the local gazette, all eager to witness the official opening. The air buzzed with anticipation, a hopeful melody replacing the somber tune of recent months. Lily weaved through the attendees, her heart brimming. She spotted Mrs. Gable, beaming as her newly adopted tabby, Marmalade, purred contentedly in her arms. Little Timmy Henderson, who'd always been shy, was now giggling, throwing a tennis ball for a bouncy terrier mix named Scamp. Each happy reunion was a tiny victory, a testament to Grandma Rose's enduring spirit. Later, as the crowd thinned, Lily found Eliza wiping down a kennel. "Mom, it's amazing, isn't it?" Eliza looked up, her eyes glistening. "It is, Lily. More than I ever imagined. Your grandmother, she really knew what she was doing. She left you a roadmap," Lily said, "and you're building the best house on it." Eliza chuckled, a genuine sound that warmed Lily to her toes. "I'm trying. It's healing. Helping these animals, seeing them find homes, it makes me feel like I'm still connected to her." The following Saturday, Lily found herself scrubbing food bowls, the disinfectant scent mingling with the earthy aroma of dog biscuits. A calico cat with mismatched ears rubbed against her legs, purring a rumbling greeting. Lily scratched behind its ears, finding a sense of peace in the simple act. This wasn't just a chore, it was an act of love, a continuation of her grandmother's legacy. She helped socialize a litter of skittish kittens, patiently coaxing them out of their shell with a feather toy. She walked a senior golden retriever named Gus, his gait slow but his tail wagging with unwavering enthusiasm. That evening, lying in bed, Lily stared at the ceiling, replaying the day's events. Grandma Rose's kindness wasn't just a memory, it was a living force, rippling outwards, touching countless lives. It was in the wagging tail of a rescued dog, the gentle purr of a grateful cat, the hopeful smiles of families finding their forever companions. And Lily knew, with absolute certainty, that she would continue to volunteer, to nurture that legacy, one paw, one heart, one act of kindness at a time. Her grandmother might be gone, but her spirit, her love, her unwavering belief in second chances, would live on through Rose's rescue. And that, Lily realized, was a treasure more valuable than any hidden cash.